All right, we're good? Hello, everybody. We'll call this meeting to order. The meeting is being held in the council chambers, which are open for public attendance and participation. The meeting will also be live streamed for public viewing, but not participation at the link identified in the agenda. Email comments sent and received by the city clerk at least 24 hours before the meeting were distributed to the city council prior to the meeting. May I have roll call, please?
Mayor Harris.
Here.
Vice Mayor Shaw.
Here.
Councilmember Boomgarden.
Here.
Councilmember Kirchner.
Here.
Councilmember Pasquale.
Here.
All right, if everybody could please stand for invocation by Councilmember Wade Kirchner, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by me.
Please bow your head. Heavenly Father, we come before you with gratitude. We thank you for being a God of love who is with us now in this very room. You never leave us or forsake us. Your grace has brought us safe thus far, and your grace will lead us home, Lord. We thank you for making each of us in this room, every person we meet, every citizen of this city, and every city in your own image with dignity and infinite worth. We thank you for the calling you have given every one of us to be good stewards of your creation, to love our neighbors as ourselves. Amen.
Everybody please salute and pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, well, we had no closed session this evening, so we'll go on. Is there any agenda modifications that we need, gentlemen? Nothing at all? We'll move on to number one. If I could have Sandee Drone come down to the front and the rest of the council join me for her proclamation. All right. It's just forever. All right. This is always the fun part of every meeting, but you're doing a great job and always have. Happy to honor you as part of the president of the Downtown Business Association. We have the proclamation here for you. Whereas Sandee Drone, a dedicated volunteer from 2017 to 2024, served on the Downtown Business Association Board of Directors as the Events Committee Chair and as President and a Board of Director past President, and as a business owner of the Happy Viking, Sandee has supported the surrounding communities with countless donations. The accomplishments by Sandee and the DBA are extensive and include creating the Bunny Hop and the Trick or Treat street events, increasing the attendance and revenues of summer and Christmas strolls, budgeted for tree lights to improve both the beautification of the downtown area and the safety of patrons. As DBA president, Sandee was a strong advocate for small businesses to stay open during COVID and successfully lobbied for a $10,000 grant from Sutter County to assist downtown restaurants during the COVID pandemic. Sandee was instrumental in strengthening the relationship between the Yuba City Police Department, homeless liaison officers, and the downtown merchants. And whereas Sandee Drone's leadership, dedication, professionalism, and commitment have helped make the downtown community a better place for all to experience, shop, dine, and visit. No doubt about that. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Sean Harris, Mayor of the City of Yuba City, on behalf of our entire City Council, do hereby recognize and commend Sandee Drone's outstanding dedication to the Downtown Business Association and to enhancing the experience in downtown Yuba City. Let's give her a hand.
So, Mayor and Council, thank you for the recognition, and City Manager as well. I enjoy working with the city staff, so thank you for the recognition. I also would like to thank the DBA merchants and the board for trusting me as their leader the last couple of years. You guys were very faithful, and I appreciate that. And then last, I would like to just thank my family who graciously allows me the time to share the time that I give to all DBA things. So, and this is their first council meeting, so one of many.
Probably many more.
Yes, many more.
Well, Sandee, you definitely did work a lot of hours for the DBA. You definitely were an advocate during COVID, and it shows. We came out of it shining, and the downtown Plymouth Street looks better and better all the time. Any other council members like to say anything? No?
St. Patty's Day's coming up, right?
St. Patty Day's coming up. Thank God for Uber. That's all I got to say. All right, we'll get a photo op real quick, and we'll move on. And if family wants to come join, please feel free. Good job. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, there they are. All right, we'll move on to number 2, appearance of interested citizens. Everyone in here, welcome and encouraged to participate in this meeting. Public comment is taken on the action items appearing on the consent calendar or business items on the agenda when they are called. Public comment on any other items within the scope of the city's jurisdiction, including items not listed on the agenda, will be considered at this time. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Members of the public submitting written requests at least 24 hours prior to the meeting will be allotted 5 minutes to comment per speaker. Repetitive comments may be limited, and large groups are encouraged to select representatives to express the opinions of the group. Do we have any comments from the public? You will have 3 minutes to say whatever you want. Seeing none, we'll move on to consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar are considered to be routine and can be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items prior to the time that council votes on the motion unless members of the city council request specific items to be discussed or removed from the consent calendar for individual action. Any comment from the public on the consent calendar items number 3 through 9? Seeing none, we can entertain a motion.
Through the mayor,
Yes, sir.
move to approve consent items 3 through 9.
Okay. All right, we have a motion to approve consent items 3 through 9 by Vice Mayor Shaw, seconded by Councilmember Kirchner. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, all approved. On to number 10, business item. Consideration of a development agreement for the West Railroad Village Tentative Subdivision Map, presented by Doug Libby. And there he is.
Good evening, council. I think this is the fastest I've seen us get through an agenda. This is amazing.
Don't jinx us now. Come on.
We'll keep it on a roll. Okay, so we are here to talk about the development agreement for West Railroad Village Subdivision. The subdivision was contingently approved by the Planning Commission on January 24th, subdivision map 2302. It's a 4.8 acre site located on the west side of Railroad Avenue, 200 feet south of Bogue Road and east of the Newcomb Ranch subdivision area. This shows the approved Bogue Stewart master plan area. The council's aware of the Newcomb Ranch area here, and this is just off to the east side of it, in a medium density residential area. Little history, City Council approved the Bogue Stewart Master Plan back in early 2020. This particular site was annexed into the city limits in August of 2021. The project would establish 21 duplex residential lots, 6 single-family residential lots, so a total of 27 lots, 10 dwelling units per acre. That's right in the kind of the midpoint of the 6 to 14 dwelling units that's allowed by the master plan. So the project provides for a total of 48 new residences. will be provided by a full range of city services. However, development will not commence until those services are in place. So, development agreement. Each one is unique because they can vary from project to project. It is unique a little because the Bogue Stewart Master Plan actually requires one. Some of the proposed terms, there has to be something for each side. This one, they're proposing a 10-year life on the map. Due to interest rates, economic conditions, that seems reasonable. What the city gets out of a longer development agreement is a increased contribution to neighborhood parks, additional development impact fee. So with regard to environmental, as you know, an EIR or environmental impact report was certified for the Bogue Stewart Master Plan. However, not the entire project area received what's called project level CEQA analysis. And so we did have to go back and do an additional environmental review, carried forward the pertinent mitigation measures from Bogue Stewart, determined there's no evidence in the record the project will have any new significant impacts, and recommended a mitigated negative declaration. State law requires that certain findings be made for a development agreement, laid out here. Those are explained in the uncodified ordinance before you tonight with responses to each of those. So the recommendation, conduct a public hearing and then introduce an uncodified ordinance of the City Council approving environmental assessment 2307 by adopting mitigated negative declaration prepared for TSM 2302 West Railroad Village, and approving a development agreement between the City of Yuba City and Junior Estiara, an individual, to develop 27 lots on 4.8 acres located on the west side of Railroad Avenue, approximately 200 feet south of the intersection of Railroad Avenue and Bogue Road. Assessor parcel number is 55-240-002. That would conclude my comments. The project engineer, Sean Menard, is here to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Do you have anything?
Yes. Thanks for asking. Through the mayor, Mr. Libby, any idea, and I know this is always that question that we ask, and it's hard to answer, are we looking at development in 2025, 2026?
I would say that the recent actions by the council to amend the Newcomb Ranch DA make it much more likely that this project is going to be able to be developed, if not by 2026, shortly thereafter. I think the actions of the council are laying the groundwork for this project to be able to develop.
So they're somewhat dependent upon the infrastructure stuff that goes along with that Bogue Road improvement?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Through the mayor?
Sir?
Is the impact fees, is there going to be a index attached to those? Because 10 years from now, that 2,300 is not going to go very far.
Correct. Yeah, there's an inflation factor that's built into that, so that goes back. In fact, because this was originally established with the original Newcomb Ranch development agreement, inflation goes back to actually 2020 for this and the other similar development agreements.
Next question is, the duplex, have they designed out the footprint of those duplexes now, or are they going to be multifamily duplexes? Or are they going to be like one-bedroom duplexes? What's our thinking here?
I'll let the project engineer, if he has any detail. I would say they have not gotten to that level of detail yet.
Okay, all right. That's all I have.
All right. No? Good? All right. All right, with that in mind, we will go to the public hearing. Public hearing for consideration of a development agreement for the West Railroad Village Tentative Subdivision Map, TSM 2302, is now open. If there are any members of the public who would like to address the council on this issue, please provide your statement via public comment and state your name and address for the record. Do we have any comments from the public on this item?
My name is Sean Menard with MHM Engineering, 1204 East Street, Marysville. I represent the owner of the property. But normally with this project this size, we probably wouldn't have asked for a development agreement, but as his first bullet point indicated, we're required to have one. So we asked for the 10 years. back to your question, Mark, is there a need, when will this happen? There is a way to move forward without the infrastructure of what we call Newcomb Ranch. There's some excess capacity in different areas. It's not the most feasible, but there is a way out before Newcomb, but its ideal situation is it follows Newcomb. So it could go as soon as next year, but it most likely not. So to answer that question, as for the design, what kind of duplexes there are, it's only a concept right now, but it would be 2 units. That's the way it's set up, size of the lots and everything, but there is no actual elevations or actual designs, architectural designs yet. But otherwise, it's a straightforward project. We made it meet the requirements of the Bogue Stewart Master Plan, and this is what we were able to come out at. It's the best combination between the existing neighbors and what we have in this area. So if you have any other questions, I'll try to answer. Thank you.
All right. Any other members of the public care to comment on the item? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to council. And this one, we do have to read the whole thing.
Gosh. Through the mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'll take a stab at this.
All right.
Forgot my glasses, but, so bear with me, okay? No, I'm good.
Mine just broke, so we're both in the same.
Through the mayor, I'd like to make a motion to introduce an uncodified ordinance of the City Council of the City of Yuba City approving environmental assessment 23-07 by adopting a mitigated negative declaration prepared for tentative subdivision map 23-02, West Railroad Village Subdivision, and approving a development agreement between the City of Yuba City and Junior S. Tiara, an individual, for the West Railroad Village Subdivision, TSM 23-02, on 4.8 acres located on the west side of Railroad Avenue, approximately 200 feet south of the intersection of Railroad Avenue and Bogue Road. Assessor's parcel number 55-240-002 by title only, and waive the first reading.
Second.
All right, we have a motion in favor by Councilmember Baumgarten, second by Vice Mayor Shaw. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous approval. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Move on to number 11, future agenda items. This is the opportunity to discuss with the city manager about items that came up in the meeting this evening that you would like to have brought back to council at a later date. Any comments from the public on this? Any comments from the council on this? Moving on to reports and communications. Following reports and communications, items are provided for the council's information. No action can be taken on items under this section unless the council agrees to it on a subsequent agenda. Start with city manager.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Just a reminder that the Bacchae Parade is this weekend. We also have a joint Planning Commission City Council meeting next Wednesday, March 13th at the Corporation Yard at 6 p.m. where we'll have the opportunity to talk about the role and responsibilities of planning commissioners, the goals of the City Council, goals of the planning commissioners, and be able to spend time together, which is not something we get to do very often. The next phase of the Hometown Heroes banners were installed on Bridge Street between Gray and Cooper. And the first shop talk of the year is scheduled for March 20th at Sopatai, and it'll focus on resources for new and existing businesses. And then for those that are planning to attend the March 19th council meeting, it's very exciting. We'll have multiple presentations. Prepare yourself. It's going to be a long meeting, but there'll be a lot of good material. So thank you.
Thank you. Let's go with Councilmember Baumgarten.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Kind of a quiet 2 weeks for me. Regional Housing Authority meeting we approved the budget for the next fiscal year. Happy to report they're fiscally solvent for sure. Good things going on down there. The other thing that we did was authorize a loan. This is for the Richland Village Apartments. This is just a mechanism to help make the application for the tax credits and all those things that need to happen so that we can get that senior living project down in the Richland housing area on the way. That was about it for me.
Good stuff, though. All right, Councilmember Kirchner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's been kind of a quiet last couple of weeks. I'll keep this brief. I was honored to be invited and to attend interfaith meeting at the Hindu temple over on Franklin Road, where folks from different walks and faiths of life came together and shared ideas. And it was really nice to participate in that. I would like to bring up one thing. This is a huge shout out to PD. The last couple of weeks, we've had some just horrific accidents in this community, and I can't say enough about our men and women that are first responders that have to deal with that day in and day out. But wow, just the pictures I was seeing on social media, I can't imagine what the kind of stuff that you folks have to deal with. So thank you for that. And I do want to do a quick plug to, is it the 14th at the Senior Center? This March 14th, the Senior Center at 11:30 is corned beef and cabbage. Is that right? So put that on your calendar. And that's all I've got, sir.
All right, sounds good. Councilmember Pasquale.
Thank you, Mayor. Plug what Wade just said. On the 16th, they're having breakfast with the bunny at the Senior Center on Saturday, the 16th at 9 a.m. So waffles and fun to be had. Had the opportunity, which I always do, is attend the Yuba College. Our men out at Yuba are doing a fantastic job. They made it to the Elite Eight for the state, which is quite a feat. And if you haven't been out, the next game's in San Jose. I'm not going to be able to attend, but if you have the opportunity and they play again and they make it to that Final Four, I think we should, as a community, get up and wherever we need to go, because they've done a fantastic job this year, and it's unbelievable how well they're doing, and they're truly a team sport. There's not really any real big standouts there. They work as a really, really, really fine home team. And with that, I end my report.
Very good. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In keeping with the brevity of meeting, it's been a very quiet 2 weeks, but it sounds like we need to quit going to the Moose and start going to the Senior Citizen Center over there because they got it happening. Great job, guys.
I want to know which one of you dressing up like the bunny. I don't know. We'll find out. Also, a quiet last couple of weeks for me, too. I did attend the Blue Zone Steering Committee meeting, and they just basically gave a report of the things they've been doing, of wonderful opportunities to spread health and wellness throughout the community. They have a lot of things planned. You should probably see a lot more conspicuous presence of that organization in the community moving forward. Also, I attended the annual fundraiser dinner for the Trauma Intervention Program. If anybody is not familiar with that, it is a program of folks who come out during a personal tragedy, whether it's a death or a serious injury, or pretty much almost any situation where law enforcement or first responders call them. They show up and they take the victims and the family, and they're able to provide resources and support for them. That's good for the families, but then it's also good for our first responders, because then they are able to do the stuff that they need to do at the same time. So it's a wonderful, wonderful program. My family has been a benefactor of that before, and they're all volunteers. Some of them hundreds and hundreds of hours every year that they volunteer, and so it was nice to be a part of that, to give them a little bit of funding. So that is the end of my report as well. We are adjourned at 6:25 on the dot.